Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and mobs and family and governments and police. Everybody, it'll set you free. And it's simply this. You are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be continuing my sign through the series, Saturn, Saturn through the sign series with Saturn and Sagittarius. And so, what is Saturn? Saturn is a very heavy energy. It's limitations, restrictions, responsibility, hard work. Saturn shows you what type of challenges you're most likely to face throughout your entire lifetime. It also gives you information on how to deal with obstacles. Saturn rules limitations, organization, structure. It is your reality. It's very practical. It rules fear, anxiety, loneliness, discomfort, boundaries, discipline, and is a workaholic. Sagittarius lives in the 9th house. It rules higher beliefs, higher learning, higher law. It's maritime law, the law of the ocean, which is the law of the court system. So these could be judges, lawyers, and rules and regulation makers. This is also federal law. This is your morals, ethics, beliefs, culture, traveling, long distance travel, the travel industry, other cultures, countries, your world view, philosophy, religion, and spirituality. And so these people may have been raised in strict environments or an environment with no belief system at all. This may have led to you feeling lost when it came to religion, or led you to find your own beliefs when it came to religion or comes to religion. Or you either pick up the same religious beliefs, ethics, and philosophy that you were taught as a child. These people can be very dogmatic, and they don't see it. These are the type of people who will argue with you about either their super religious beliefs or there is no God. If so, how? These people are going to want you to prove to them how you think God is real. Like, what has he done for you lately? How has he showed up in your life for you to know that God is real, right? Very argumentative and debates about these things. Vice versa, whether they are religious or not, they're going to prove their point, and they're going to expect you to prove their point. They'll even come up with some like crazy example that they want you to. So say I pray in an hour, then that means I'm going to get my prayer. And, we all know it doesn't work like that, right? And so they're like, exactly my point. It's not real. Like, period. Very interesting people, to say the least. I find that I try to stay far away from these people as possible because, yeah. Um, mm, so typically these people will struggle with whatever changes around philosophy or beliefs that they are trying to learn. They'll have to put in a lot of work um and understanding a belief, morals, ethics, philosophy, religion, or spirituality. But they will, um, come to this conclusion later on in life. The challenge for these people is being more open-minded to other people's reality, philosophy, ethics, beliefs, and religion. Um, these people tend to be priests, anywhere in the field of law, lawyers, judges, or again, law changers. Um, and they work really hard to achieve those things. Even with education, because this is higher education, these people will argue and fight that what's the purpose of educating yourself. And the really interesting about that argument is that there's some truth in that sense. I mean, there's some truth in even the sense of being dogmatic around a spiritual belief or religion, but education more specifically because, um, you know, here in America, anyways, I don't know if I would make that argument anywhere else because they actually really do teach real stuff that can help you elevate in your life so you can see the benefits of it. But in America, their education system is not set up for you to um, elevate or to believe in yourself or anything other than them. And so their education is based on, getting you a job, um, buying into somebody else's dream, fulfilling somebody else's dream. Um, and this kind of ideology or conversation comes up here big time. And when you have Saturn here, it emphasizes that your skills and knowledge do come from your experience. Sagittarius can be your life experience and the things that you do over and over again. Saturn is repetition and things that you do over and over again, which is what makes you master something. It's not necessarily that it is about education or what you're learning or what you're being taught. It's because you can be taught anything. We see this in the education system now today. You've got people who have degrees and they're doing something completely different from what it is they plan to um, do in their life. And that's because the structure, the system, Saturn, the way that's set up, isn't conducive to actually putting people in positions of greatness, right? And so, um, you know, a lot of the times here in America, that argument can be made and be sufficient, and correct, and rightly so. Also, even more so, it becomes more complicated and difficult. It's not just that easy because some skills require education. You have to actually learn the basics of a skill, the entry level of the skill, the dynamics of the skill, and then again, Saturn and Sagittarius can be the life experiences you've had that make you even more um, pronounced, I'll say, in a field. Say, for example, let's stay in this energy and say you were born and raised in a family where they were dogmatic and religion was religion. Like religion is, that's it. You got to believe in God. You got to go to church. You got to pray. You got to do this. You got to do that. God is everything. Blah 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 blah. Right, right. And you end up adopting some of those those things, and throughout life you go around spewing that dogmatic ideology and concept. Well, now something in your life happens that only God could fix. I don't know. Make it up. You get into a really bad car accident. You should not have survived, yet here you are. They said you would never walk again, yet here you are. This person is going to have a revelation. You see, that's going to force them to see God and how God works. And that's going to lead them to a curious uh, attempt to go deeper. What the heck was that? Because, I was brought up to believe such and such and such and such and such and such, and blah, 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 um, you know, um, and maybe that's the opposite way around, that they didn't have religion. So whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. But either way, now these people go deeper. And because they had this experience along with this way of thinking, they have a peculiar way about teaching this topic. Nobody's going to be able to teach it quite like they do because of the experience that they went through. It's like walking a mile in somebody's shoes. You can't have a teacher coming in teaching religion that doesn't have any religious background. They're going to teach it, but it's going to be boring. It's going to be plain. It's going to be, lame. It's not going to have any um context to it, yeah. I mean, I feel like I could say so much more about that, but I feel like you guys get the picture, right? um you know so with education here in America, you kind of have to pull pieces together. There are some unfortunate things that you will undoubtedly have to do that you don't want to do, and possibly and quite necessarily don't have to do, but you do have to do it for other specific reasons, because what America has done so successfully is breaking apart all the pieces of the original thing of something. And so it makes it harder for you to succeed, right? And so that can be a very Sagittarian concept with Saturn being here. That is your reality. That is the reality. That is society that we live in here. And so for other places where you will go to travel and see so much more truth just lying around waiting, it's almost as if you see reflections of your education, your family structure, your beliefs and morals and ethics, your Sagittarius on a higher level of spirituality is about doing the right thing. You know, what is the 72 laws, Kemetic laws? I always get mixed up with those every time I talk about this subject, but thou shalt not swear, thou shalt not, whatever those ethical beliefs are, moral beliefs are, to be considered a stamp upright person, if you will. um you know you see those things in other countries right away. You learn those things in other countries, right? They have culture that is incorporated with these kind of beliefs and morals and ethics that we don't get here in the same way. And so they always have a different perspective when they come here, and they might even see us in a very dogmatic way, right? Or they'll judge us for some of the beliefs and things that we even celebrate and do in that way. That can be very Saturn and Capricorn, because Saturn is about tradition and history and stuff like that. So I can clearly go on about this over and over again, but I think in that perspective, when it comes to education, a Saturn and Sagittarius person would be like, I don't need to go to school to do what I what I've been doing my whole life. I'm a master in this because I've been doing it my whole life. But then there's no structure to it, right? And so it makes it harder for you to teach or have a platform for it unless you start your own business or something like that. And most of these people might lack that part of it that makes it just like I just am, um, without any kind of purpose, meaning, or structure behind it. Yeah, so I feel like I can go on and on and on about it, but as usual, Phil, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.